Today, hearings will resume in the wreck of the El Faro. Saturday, we heard audio recordings from Captain Michael Davidson for the first time. In his final call for help, he was clearly frustrated by how long it was taking to connect him with a company official, telling the dispatcher the clock is ticking as the ship started taking on water.
I have a marine emergency, and I would like to speak to a QI. We had a hull breach, a scuttle blew open during a storm. We have water down in 3 holes with a heavy lift. We've lost the main propulsion unit. The engineers cannot get it going. Can I speak with a QI, please?
So within hours of that call, the El Faro sank off the coast of the Bahamas. All 33 crew members on board died. Today begins the 6th day of hearings before a panel of Coast Guard investigators. Now, the focus will be the cargo ship's history today: inspections, repairs, its safety plans. Joining us now is local maritime attorney Rod Sullivan. Good morning to you. Thank you for being here. For those of our viewers who maybe missed this Saturday coverage, because obviously that call was very significant in terms of hearing the captain's voice and trying to glean something from it. What did that call tell you or not tell you?
Well, first of all, we had 3 calls. We had the message that he left on Captain Lawrence's voicemail. We have the discussion, the 2-minute and 54-second discussion with the answering service, which is, if you've ever, I mean, if you're sitting at your house and you get put on hold, it's one thing. If you're on a ship that's sinking and you get put on hold, it's really another. And then we had the final telephone conversation between Captain Lawrence and Captain Davidson on the ship. What do we find out? Well, the interesting thing, I think, to a lot of us is that the ship had not lost power, but it had lost its propulsion. It's sort of like you're sitting in your car, the radio works, the lights work, but it won't go forward or backwards. Well, that cuts out a number of potential causes. It makes it unlikely that the boiler, for example, caused it. All the crew is okay. That makes it unlikely that there was a steam leak inside of the engine room. And so it sort of limits the things that could have gone wrong to the main bearings, the condenser, and a very few components. You're really down to only about 4 or so components that would allow you to have the electricity but not have main power.
Does that suggest then something to you that perhaps this was in fact a maintenance issue that the company could have anticipated and therefore the ship itself should not have sailed?
Yeah, well, it's too soon to pronounce anything, but I'll tell you what I'm very interested in is on a prior voyage, they had an unlicensed person who went down below and was supposed to shut off a green valve and instead shut off a yellow valve, which cut off all lube oil to the engines. Now, they corrected that problem, but they did need to stop the ship. And after that, when they tested the lube oil on that particular unit, it showed elevated levels of tin. Now, this could indicate that there was an impending bearing failure getting ready to happen, and that would be one of the components that could have caused the ship to come to a stop.
The fact that the scuttle blew, as he described then in that call, does that tell you anything?
It really is more confusing than anything else because, first of all, how much water can you get in through a scuttle? Second of all, the scuttle is up high, and this ship is only in 10 to 12-foot seas, so how is water getting in there? And then he says we've lost hull integrity. You normally don't think about a scuttle being open as a loss of hull integrity. A loss of hull integrity or a hull breach tends to indicate some kind of break in the steel plating. So that really, to me, opened up more questions than it really answered.
And isn't a scuttle, for those who are not familiar, it's small, isn't it?
Well, we're not really sure. I mean, a scuttle can be a manhole, a scuttle can be a doorway, but it's not that big a space. And this ship has pumps that'll pump somewhere between 150 and 300 gallons a minute. You would think that it'd be able to take care of that kind of leak. But here we have a ship that the hold is filled with water. It's listing over to 15 degrees one side. Can that be from water coming on deck and then running down from an open doorway? I mean, that doesn't seem to make sense to me.
Well, and he sounds frustrated, but not necessarily panicked. When you heard those calls, did it suggest to you that that was a distress call and that they needed help immediately?
Specifically, it's not a distress call. He said, we're not thinking about abandoning ship. The crew is just fine. This is an informational call. So when Captain Lawrence calls the Coast Guard, they say, you're not in a situation that we deem to be an emergency. We're not going to send out anybody. Anchor or send a tug out to rescue your ship, but we're not going to do anything at this point because they're not in distress.
Would that have made a difference if they had right away?
No. Well, I say no. I tend to doubt it. I mean, we didn't find anybody in survival suits. We didn't find anybody in life rafts. It would indicate to me that in that kind of hurricane conditions, you really can't get out there and do anything, and I don't know that it would have made a difference.
Sullivan, thank you very much for your insight. Do appreciate it. Now, the hearings resume this morning at 9 at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. They are open to the public, but if you can't make it and would like to watch, we are streaming it live on our website, news4jax.com. You can use our mobile app, by the way, to watch it as well.